Beauty can heal. When we take time to revel in the wonder of nature, we bring ourselves back into the present moment and away from the cares of the future. We allow our thoughts to quieten, our hearts to open, our breathing to deepen and slow, and for peace to envelop us. When I go out to take photos, the most important part isn't the images I come home with, but rather the restoration of my spirits from the experience. The joy I get from being in nature is a tonic to my soul, one I hope to share through my videos. There are few places I love more than the rainforest, and today I've come to a small section of Kugel Cascades I've never photographed before. It's the perfect place to restore my soul.
Hello and welcome to this beautiful rainforest creek in the Gold Coast hinterland. And yeah, I am out again in the rainforest. I can't tell you how good it feels to be out. It's a little bit weird, but you know, I'll live with that. So I've just been wandering around and taking some photos. I was going to have a chat to you when I was down taking photos of this little cascade and overlooking the pool, but I thought it was going to be quite loud there and you might not be able to hear me, and then a group of people came down, so I scrapped that idea and thought I'd come back here and have a chat. I'm going to soak this in. I've probably only got about another hour, I think, before it's going to start getting quite dark in here. Being in a valley, we're going to lose the light quickly. I mean, even as it is, I'm having to shoot at quite long shutter speeds if I want to keep a low ISO. All my video is done at a very, very high ISO because it is so dark in here. As I was coming down into this creek, I did like this shot with the beautiful trees framing the little glimpse of the creek, and I took just a single photo, and then I thought it might work nicely as a panorama, so we'll see how that went, as well as the shots I took of this little cascade.
I was quite happy with how this panorama's turned out, but the lighting in all the images is just a little bit flat, and I'm definitely going to have to come back for a lot of these compositions on a better day. I took this image as a quick snapshot after I'd finished videoing, and I wish I'd spent a bit more time because I really like it, other than needing a little bit of a tweak to the composition in going a little bit closer so there's some separation between the rock that's prominent in the foreground in the centre right and the background behind it. Okay, I'm going to go around. It's getting quite dim. I gotta say, doing this with my funny eye is not the best. So elegant. Oh, this is exactly where I wanted to come out. These trees.
Oh man, I've got a really dirty butt. Every time I come for photos, people come down. I came up here with my family a few weeks ago and we did a walk up the whole creek, and I just brought the GoPro with me, and these trees really jumped out at me. I think the light is probably just way too flat now for it to work, that probably what you do need is a little bit of light somewhere, but I'm still going to take some photos of them because I really like them. I've been trying different angles. I'm not sure exactly. I think because of the flat light, it's making them a bit difficult to differentiate, pull out from the background. So I think this is going to be a spot I'm going to have to come back to another time and give myself a lot more time here than the few hours that I set for myself today. So I'm shooting at f5.6 at the moment because I'd like the background to be a little bit blurred. It's not going to be massively. If I had a faster lens, I could do it, but I think I might be able to try going a little bit wider on my aperture and see. It's, I think, about a 2-second shutter speed at the moment, shooting at f5.6 and ISO 200. So that can give you an idea of just how dark it is here. Sun hasn't set yet, but it's definitely behind the hills. And I'm just not here at the right time of day, I don't think. Look, you wouldn't want to be having direct sunlight streaming down on here. I think maybe coming down on a slightly overcast day, which was what it was like when I was here the first time, and you've got the nice diffuse light, probably would help a little bit better, because what you'd have then is you'd have the trees in the foreground would be a bit darker and your background would be a bit lighter, and so you'd get that kind of separation. I do like, there's a bit of a mess down here. I might try and clean it up actually, because I do like the roots that are kind of twisting over onto the rocks. Get that out of the way. So I wanted to point out, I'm also using a polarizer at the moment. One is to give the colours a bit more pop, but the other is because it gets rid of the reflections, it can help simplify things a little bit and get rid of, I guess, so much detail. It kind of reduces the detail because you don't have the reflections. It can make your photos look a little less three-dimensional, so it's kind of a matter of what you want. I'll probably will take some unpolarized too, but I suspect the polarized is what I'm going to like best. Now, the watercolor at the moment is lovely because it's cold. The water's gotten really cold with winter. It's it's very cold. I was going to wear my sandals up here, but I thought no, I wouldn't, but it probably would have been helpful. Anyway, stop rambling. Water. Yeah, the algae in the water dies when the water gets too cold, and so instead of it looking like that kind of murky brown colour that these rock pools normally look, they're starting to look a bit blue, and if I had a bit more light it would probably show up better. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe that partially polarized, or even maybe not on that one, because what it did do is the reflection off the water made the background a different tone to the trees. So I'm going to get home and have a play around with them, but it's possible the non-polarized might actually work better. So in the end, not only did I prefer the unpolarized versions of these images, but I also liked the water much more in the shorter shutter speeds that I took when I was just going around taking sample compositions rather than when I had it on the tripod. So as you'll see, it's taken at a really high ISO,
but I just really didn't like the blurring of the water in the 2-second shutter speed. So I didn't get the beautiful roots in the shot that I was looking at later on, and as you see, it's also not a good separation between the trees and the background, particularly the leftmost tree. So definitely a spot I need to come back to.
It's been so good to be out. I've really enjoyed getting out and taking photos and having a play with my drone again, even though that was a little challenging with GPS not always working and it being too dark for the vision system, and possibly, I don't know, because the light is so low, the ISO needed to get cranked up, and yeah, that may not have looked so great. I don't know. I've never shot my drone in low light, so. But yeah, it's good to be here. I'm going to have to come earlier in the day. Unfortunately, it is a really busy spot, so you know, winter's obviously better than summer. It is during the week, but still had a number of people coming by. But there's a lot more of this creek to explore. I have been here once before, but it was 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, I think. And I think it might have actually been the very first time that I took my S5 out. So I only stayed in the bottom bit, which I didn't actually go to today. So if you want to see a different part of this creek, check that one out now. All right, thanks so much, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Get outside, get taking photos, and I'll see you all next time.